The moment that changed everything hit me in my study one ordinary afternoon in our Queen and home overlooking Elliott Bay. I was reviewing security footage on my laptop when my son Alex walked into the kitchen on screen, glanced around nervously, and began swapping the pills in my weekly organizer with ones from a small bag in his jacket. My hands froze on the keyboard. David Reynolds here, 64 years old. Founder of Reynolds Development, a commercial real estate empire I'd built brick by brick, starting with one rundown warehouse in South Seattle back in the 80s. I'd weathered recessions, raised 2 kids with my wife Maggie, and thought family was the one thing greed couldn't touch. But watching my own flesh and blood methodically replace my heart medication, I realized how wrong I was. It started months earlier, last fall, when chest pains sent me to Swedish Medical Center. The cardiologist, Dr. Elena Vargas, sat me down with that careful expression doctors use when the news isn't catastrophic but isn't good either. Mr. Reynolds, you've got early-stage congestive heart failure. Not immediately life-threatening if managed, but you'll need beta blockers, blood thinners, and strict monitoring. Miss one dose or take the wrong combination, and things could spiral. I nodded, trying to process it. At my age, I'd slow down some, delegated more at the company, spent evenings walking the seawall with Maggie, but I wasn't ready to fade. Maggie squeezed my hand in the exam room. We'll get through this, David. Together. Alex was the first to show up after the diagnosis. 38. Sharp in his marketing role at a big tech firm downtown. Married to Lauren for 8 years. They pulled into our driveway in their sleek Audi, both wearing concerned smiles that felt genuine at first. Dad. We heard from Mom, Alex said, hugging me tight in the living room filled with family photos and my collection of Northwest art. How serious is it? Have you thought about updating estate plans? Power of attorney, living will, stuff like that. Lauren nodded beside him, her eyes scanning the room a bit too carefully, noting the antique furniture and the view. I brushed it off. The will's solid. Son, your mom and I updated it 5 years ago. You and Sophia are taken care of. But yeah, maybe power of attorney makes sense if things get sudden. Maggie agreed later that night over dinner. He has a point, David. What if you're incapacitated? Someone needs to handle the company decisions. Sophia, my 35-year-old daughter, came by the next day. She freelanced as an illustrator from her cozy Capitol Hill apartment, bringing fresh sourdough from the local market and homemade chicken soup. Dad. How are you really? She asked while helping sort mail in my study. I admitted the meds made me foggy sometimes. She frowned at the pill bottles. These look complicated. You're taking them exactly right? I mentioned Alex had set up the weekly organizer for me a couple weeks back. Her face tightened briefly. Alex did? When? Dad. Be careful. Lauren mentioned money stress lately. I waved it away. Your brother's fine. Just worried about his old man. But her words lingered. Over the next weeks, little things piled up. My computer password changed, without notice. Bank statements went missing. I felt weaker despite the meds, more short of breath. Dizzy spells that left me bedridden some mornings. Alex visited alone one evening when Maggie was at her book club. He paced my study. Dad. About that big property portfolio in Bellevue, the one valued at $4 million. Whose successor if you step back? I kept my eyes half closed, pretending fatigue. Board handles it. Why the rush? He laughed it off thinly. Just planning ahead. Maybe you should ease off work. I could help manage. Something cold settled in my gut. That night, after he left, I couldn't shake Jennifer. Wait. Sophia's warning. The next morning, I called a security firm and had discreet cameras installed in smoke detectors and frames around the house. Told Maggie it was general protection. She rolled her eyes but didn't fight it. Paranoid much? 3 days later. Reviewing footage alone. I saw it. Alex entering the kitchen at 2 p.m., knowing the house was empty. He swapped my beta blockers for identical-looking tablets from his bag in under 2 minutes. My blood ran cold. I rewatched it 3 times. Stomach churning.
Why?
What were those pills? Later footage captured him on a backyard call with Lauren. It's working. He's declining fast. Doctor thinks it's natural progression. Lauren's voice. How long? 4 to 6 weeks maybe. Paperwork set. Power of attorney lets me liquidate assets quick. Sophia gets half. But we'll secure ours first. I sat frozen. Tears blurring the screen. My son wasn't helping, he was killing me slowly. Accelerating heart failure for money. Greed had turned him into a stranger. The betrayal sank in deep that night. I didn't confront him immediately. The businessman in me, the one who'd clawed from nothing, knew I needed proof. Not rage. Instead, I drove to a private clinic in Bellevue the next morning, bypassing my regular doctor.
Dr.
Sarah Patel, a sharp-eyed internist, listened as I laid out suspicions, handing over the tampered pills and requesting full analysis plus blood work. This is serious. Mr. Reynolds, she said, eyes hardening. 2 days later. Her call confirmed it. Elevated digoxin levels, a cardiac drug not prescribed to me, in toxic doses that would worsen failure. The swapped pills contained it instead of my beta blockers. Continued use meant death disguised as natural causes within weeks. I hardened inside. The father wanted answers. Why? But evidence first.
Dr.
Patel documented everything and reported to police as suspected poisoning. That evening, I met Sophia at a quiet coffee shop in Fremont, away from home. Showing her the footage and reports on my phone, I watched horror, disbelief, then fury cross her face. That selfish bastard, she whispered. We cried together quietly.
Dad.
What now? We build an airtight case. Act normal around him. Help me. She nodded fiercely. Over the following week, we looped in my longtime attorney, Robert Klein, a no-nonsense litigator who'd closed million-dollar deals with me. We systematically collected multiple camera clips of tampering, medical reports,
Dr.
Patel's timeline. A forensic accountant uncovered Alex forging power of attorney documents months earlier and siphoning $600,000 from company accounts to an offshore Cayman setup. Sophia photographed a burner phone on his desk during a tense family dinner. Robert's private investigator legally traced calls to a shady financial fixer named Victor Lang, who was advising on draining assets while I declined. Telling Maggie was the hardest. In our living room one quiet evening, with all evidence ready, I laid it out, the videos, reports, thefts. She broke down sobbing in a way I'd never seen in 42 years of marriage, mourning the son we'd raised. How could Alex do this? To us. Greed and desperation. I explained. The investigator revealed Alex's gambling addiction, $250,000 owed to dangerous bookies from underground casinos. My diagnosis was his opportunity. Lauren knew everything too. Maggie's grief turned steely. We change everything. He gets nothing. Robert redrafted. New irrevocable trust naming Maggie and Sophia sole beneficiaries. Company sale proceeds split between them. Alex erased from every document. Meanwhile, I pretended decline, taking safe meds from Dr. Patel but acting frilier, confused, dependent during Alex's visits. Feeling worse.
Son.
So tired. Satisfaction flickered in his eyes each time. His concern mask cracking. It tore me apart inside, not to explode. But police needed more to charge, catching him red-handed again. 2 weeks in, I baited the trap. Casually mentioned running low on meds, noting when the house would empty. Maggie, Sophia, and I went to a film downtown while Detective Laura Hayes's team waited with warrant. Cameras rolled as Alex let himself in with his spare key, heading straight for the organizer. Performing the swap, once more. Officers entered quietly. Alex Reynolds. You're under arrest for attempted murder. Fraud. Forgery. His face drained of color. They seized the burner. Forged docs. Emails with Victor detailing countdown to my death and asset grabs. The investigation accelerated. Financial trails. Witness statements. The arrest footage haunted me when I reviewed it later. Alex's shock. Protests. Rights read aloud. He looked small. Cornered. Nothing like the confident son I'd taught to sail on Puget Sound. But the evidence mounted fast. Forensic analysis matched the digoxin to a prescription Victor Lang had illicitly obtained. Call logs showed months of plotting, timelines for my natural decline, plans to sell properties quickly under power of attorney, splitting spoils after Sophia's share. Lauren was arrested days later for conspiracy and accessory charges. Pre-trial hearings dragged, but the 6-month wait to trial tested us. Sophia held my hand daily in court prep sessions. Maggie maintained composed dignity. Her grief private but steel-like. Alex's defense pushed diminished capacity due to gambling addiction, claiming no intent to kill, just incapacitate for financial help. They painted him desperate, not murderous. But prosecutors dismantled it. Dr. Patel's expert testimony on digoxin toxicity mechanics. Clear intent in recordings, 4 to 6 weeks max. Security clips timestamped. Financial forensics proving premeditated theft starting before diagnosis. Jury selection favored us, everyday Seattle folks who understood family betrayal's sting. During testimony, I took the stand, voice steady despite emotion, describing the diagnosis. Subtle red flags. Camera discovery. The chilling backyard call. Sophia testified about her suspicions and evidence gathering. The defense cross-examined aggressively. But the recordings played in court, Alex's calm voice counting down my days, sealed it. Victor Lang flipped for immunity, losing his license, detailing the scheme. Jury deliberated under 4 hours, guilty on attempted first-degree murder, wire fraud, forgery, theft. Sentencing hit hard. Alex got 10 years federal prison, Lauren 6 for her role. As the judge read it, Alex glanced back once, fleetingly the boy from Little League games in Discovery Park. Then hardened. Handcuffed. Led away. Maggie and I sold Reynolds Development 3 months later at a strong price amid market uptick. Proceeds funded trusts for Sophia's future children and our security. We downsized from the Queen and House, too many echoes, to a modern condo in Belltown near Sophia. Less space. Fewer ghosts, I told her over coffee one morning. She understood. Healing was slow. The betrayal clarified priorities, loyalty over legacy assets. I walk mornings along Alki Beach with Maggie, reflecting how close greed came to erasing me. Alex's parole eligibility in 7 years leaves uncertainty, forgiveness possible if genuine change, but some breaks permanent. Sophia thrived. Her illustrations gaining recognition, we supported without strings. Last summer, the 3 of us traveled Italy, Rome cafes, Florence art, slow meals healing fractures. By Trevi Fountain one evening, Maggie took my hand. Think about him much? Every day. I admitted, where we failed teaching that character trumps wealth. Signs missed amid busy lives. Yet we loved him fully, the choice was his. Sophia kissed my cheek. You taught me integrity.
Dad.
That's what lasts. At 65 now. Heart stable under Dr. Patel's care. I feel richer despite losses. True fortune. Maggie beside me at sunrise. Sophia's calls. Mornings breathing freely. Alex traded family for phantom riches he never touched, losing freedom and bonds. Greed's lesson. Verify trust. Cherish presence over promises. Blood ties don't guarantee loyalty. The real family stands when worlds shatter. Surviving refined us, revealing what deserves care. Each other. Simple days. The gift of tomorrow.